Okay, well, I just got back here to the camp. There's Rocky. He's sniffing the air. Oh, he's decided to come out. Hey, have you decided to come out? He's pretty cute. You can see he's sniffing the air. He's making sure everything's okay. After a long winter's nap. See, he'll avoid the mud and the snow as much as he can, eh? So he steps down onto the rock there and stuff. He does, yeah. I've got to refill this kitty litter. So I brought the big bag of kitty litter down with me. I've also got a bag of potatoes that I've had in the truck for a few days that needed to come down here too. And I had the wheelbarrow up there from taking the garbage out. So I just brought the wheelbarrow. Had to bring the wheelbarrow back anyway. So I went ahead and yeah, what do you think? Spring is in the air, Rocky. Yeah. He's pretty cute. But yeah, spring is in the air. And Rocky is thinking about how wonderful it's going to be to lay out in the sun again. No doubt that's what he's thinking. Yeah. Hey. He's wondering if he could build a fort there, I think. He does that. He'll build a fort in the weeds. He'll build like a cave in the weeds. He'll press them all down and he'll make a tunnel underneath them and stuff. And he'll go in under there. It's something that Rocky does. Yeah. What do you think, Rocky? Yeah, he says, this darn snow, if the snow would just go away, that would be nice. Anyway, that's what's happening here at Camp Crazy. I've got a bunch of stuff I have to do. You can see him there. He's quite the character. This is the first that in a long while that he's been coming outside because the weather's just been horrible. Yeah, I say I got to get my storage locker cleared out though, because in the I'm going to want to store my wagon and my shovels, and there's going to be a few other things that I want to keep that I want to store, and so I'm going to have to get my locker cleared, some stuff cleared out of my locker. I can get rid of my refrigerator. I don't need a full-size refrigerator. I'll probably buy a small refrigerator to have in the truck, but I don't need a full-size one, which I have in my locker that's taking up room. And I'm going to keep my old stove, though, because it's ancient, and it's actually a really good stove, and I'll never get another one like it. So I'll keep it. But, yeah, there's my Rocky. And there's other things in there that I can get rid of, though. The big wooden cabinet that belonged to the family of a friend of mine, I've tried to give that back to her repeatedly. It was given to me, so it is mine, but I tried to give that back to the girl that I know whose mother owned it, and her mom's now passed away. It's a cabinet that was made by her uncle for her mom back when her mom was teaching school. And her mom was a lady that I worked for, actually. I used to do property maintenance for her. And I helped her to clear out her house and her outbuildings and everything when she moved. and to get everything organized so she could leave that house, because she sold the house and she moved back up north to Aurelia, where she came from. And she gave me that cabinet, and I used it as a pantry in my apartment and then in my house for a long time. But anyway, it's a cabinet that has a drop front, so she could use it with cubby holes and stuff, so she could use it as a desk to grade papers and stuff. But it makes a wonderful pantry, and I could put my microwave oven on top of it and put other things on top of it, cereal boxes and jars of pasta and so on. But anyway, it worked out really well for me when I had my house, especially. But it's no longer needed by me, and I've tried to give it back to her, and she says she wants it. But it's twice now that she was supposed to come and collect it, and she hasn't. And she's kind of bad for that. She's a person who's just, you can't really rely on her very much, to do what she says she's going to do. And so, what that means for me, ooh, Rocky's taking it all in. He's not fooling around. That's a seagull. This flew over. Anyway, she's had 2 opportunities to collect it, and she hasn't. So that's one of the things that's going to go by hook or by crook. It's too bad. I don't want to sell it or throw it away, but it's in my way, and it has to come out of there, and she's been told that. So I feel bad about it, and no doubt she'll be upset with me if she ever does try to claim it and I tell her I got rid of it. But this is twice that she was supposed to come get it and she didn't. So anyway, I got to do what I got to do, because this is survival. And that's one thing I've learned, is I don't worry about hurting people's feelings like I used to. I don't worry about people hating me like I used to. I don't worry about people being mad at me like I used to. Just I'll do what I have to do, and look, as long as I've been fair with them, and I think I have been fair with her, then there's really nothing for me to feel bad about. That's how I look at it. And especially given my situation, given the situation I'm in, I think that I should have some slack cut for me. I think people should cut me a little slack, especially when I've gone out of my way to accommodate them and then they haven't reciprocated. So that's it for that. Anyway, that thing will be going in the spring. If she gets a hold of me in the meantime and says I'm going to be there, in half an hour to pick it up, then I'll go meet her there and we'll pick it up and she can have it. But otherwise, it is going. It's going one way or another. It's going. And there's a bunch of other stuff that's going too that belongs to me. Well, even that cabinet belongs to me because it was given to me, but I don't have the family connection to it that lady has. That's all. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff that's going to go anyway out of there, because I'm going to need the room when I move into the truck. Anyway, there's Rocky. As you can see, Rocky is very alert, and he's taking it all in. This is the longest that he's been outside in a while, and of course he's pretty much staying on the pallets because he hates all this. He just hates all this with a passion. So, yeah, he's staying on the pallets anyway. I was told that it looks like the fisher that I was seeing, well, at least one of the fishers is in the barn over there, or in the vicinity of the barn, living over there, because that's where it's been seen. I don't know if that's the same fisher I saw wandering around here or not. But I did see one going across in front of the house there one day, and it was headed in that direction. And I'm told that seems to be where that particular fisher is staying. So, yeah, when my cat Muella was killed by a fisher back in the woods there, right back in there, I heard it happening, but I couldn't do anything about it. It was pitch black dark, and I just couldn't do anything about it. I didn't even know exactly where it was happening. I was shining a flashlight all up and down the forest there, and I couldn't see anything. And I had to listen to her die, and that was a hell of a thing. And then a supposed friend of mine accused me of decapitating her with a machete so that I could get sympathy, and called the police on me. So, you know, I spent the next day after she was killed going all through those woods, and it's all full of prickly ash and everything. It was a hell of a thing. And in the summertime, that's all overgrown. You can't see in there like you can right now in the summer. Just beating my way through the woods, and all the trees and everything was all soaking wet because it had rained heavily the night before. My tent got flooded too. I was sleeping in the tent at the time, and it got flooded. Rocky and I were in the tent. Muella had taken off, and she hadn't come back. But I figure she was making her way back here when the rain stopped, because it was right after the rain stopped that I heard it happen. Anyway, I found her dead body back in there, and she'd been decapitated. And I took a picture and I posted it on Facebook because I wanted to know what might have done that, because it was a very clean decapitation. And a friend of mine saw it, and he posted it on an outdoorsman's page. And he said that they unanimously all said it was a fisher. Apparently what the fisher does is it decapitates its prey, and it drinks the blood. There wasn't a mark on her other than that her head was missing, you know? But apparently that's what a fisher does. So I brought her back to camp. I carried what I had of her, just her body without the head, back here, and I buried her here. And I went back in a few times looking for her head because I wanted to bury that with her, but I couldn't find it. So I had her body under a wash tub, and while I was trying to find her head, and I spent a good portion of the rest of that day again beating my way through the woods there trying to find her head, which I never found. And then that evening I buried her, and then the next day, of course, I posted the picture the next day, and then all hell busted loose. But I did find out it was a fisher, so I got my question answered. But the answer came at a very high price anyway. But yeah, that's the story there. Anyway, I gotta fill up this here, and yeah, anyway, wonderful. You know, what a wonderful time that was. Anyway, yeah, all right, that's it for now. Rocky's up on the table in there. We'll see you later.